Hello ladies and jelly spoons, I am Norris the Noob and I thought I'd try my hand at reviewing a game. For the first game I've chosen Easy Red. Not entirely sure about the name, Easy Red. Easy might have been better. Better ring to it, as an alternative to the phrase dead easy perhaps? I don't know. When talking about the colour red in the military we tend to think of the Red Army of the Soviet Union, which would be an odd topic for a game about D-Day. I suppose you could argue that D-Day was made easier because Germany was fighting the Red Army on the Eastern Front, so it couldn't dedicate all her troops to defending the Western Front. Maybe it's simply because red is the colour of blood and it was very easy to get killed or wounded during the D-Day landings. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, I don't know. So I bought the game for a whole £2.16, which included a 25% discount on Steam at the time, so can't complain about the price. That equates to around €2.50 or $3. The game was developed and published by Marco Amadei, a small indie developer, and released in December 2017. I meant to do this review back in about February, and I only just got round to it. The game centres around D-Day, and you can play various missions which include accurate timings of the true events. You can play on both sides in most, if not all, the missions. I like the fact they haven't invented a story around a particular person, you're just a random soldier fighting to liberate Europe. I love the setting, it's rather basic, it harks back to previous first and third person shooters from the late 90s and early 2000s. Dare I use the words Medal of Honor in Call of Duty? Or a bit like taking control of a soldier in a game of Company of Heroes. It's also a bit how I remember the Green Army Men games. Do you remember those? Sarge's Heroes and Air Attack. I used to love those games back in the Dark Ages. Battles are generally objective capture based, and then either moving to the next objective or holding the base against a counter-attack. The weapons you use depend on who you're playing as, and there are plenty of classes to choose from, not just light, medium and heavy. It will show you all the available missions in the campaign, but won't let you play the later ones until you've completed the mission/storyline that led up to that moment. For example, I tried to play the south of Point du Hoc in Chapter 2, and it told me that the Rangers hadn't landed there yet. You can play each chapter mission in any order, and can start either from a landing craft or landing by parachute onto your objective. Obviously, if you're defending, then you're from a sort of fixed emplacement somewhere on a beach or further inland, depending on what the mission is. The random shouts from the AI on both sides reminds me of a tower defence game called Mud and Blood 2. Any of you played that? Also, some of the voice acting is a little suspect. The accents are lacking somewhat. As far as graphics go, it's really basic, but it also has a cartoon render version, which in some ways looks better. Enemies in the distance just become outlines, like they've disappeared in fog. The game mechanics are quite detailed. For example, if your weapon has a bipod and you stop near some cover, it will automatically mount the legs on the cover, and your accuracy will be increased. I found that's one of the best ways of holding an objective, is just mount your machine gun and spray anything that walks across in front of you. Like a lot of games, it has a survival mode where you play a sort of Saving Private Ryan defence, but there's a statue of a crow that sleeps during each wave but then glows with fire, and if you speak to it, it'll drop random weapons, ammo or items to help your defence. But then in a world where Nazi zombies is rife, yeah, that's not the weirdest thing going. Like I've already suggested, the AI needs a bit of work. The number of times I was pushed out of cover by a supposed AI ally, but there you go. It has a very good potential to improve, and I think if it becomes popular, they will. I sort of get the feeling it might be just one guy that's made and developed this and released it, but time will tell. So good points. It's cheap to buy, it's well thought out, it's well made for an indie game, accurate timings, weapon design is extensive, good starting point to improve on, and very replayable. Bad points, the AI needs a bit of work, and the gameplay feels rather clunky. But for a game that cost about $4 full price, you can't complain. Anyway, I've been Norris the Noob, and this was Easy Red. Let me know what you think, and whether you're going to play it. I suggest you have a go, and I'll see you later.
down! Enemy down! Enemy down!
Da ist ein Feind!
Fire in the hole!
Los! Vedo un nemico!
Sie einen Feind! Los! Sie einen Feind! Brauche Feuerschutz! Brauche einen Sanitäter!
Enemy down!
Open fire!
Cover me! Let's move.
Ich sehe einen Feind! Waffen überprüfen! Ich sehe einen Feind!
I'm hurt!
Ich sehe einen Feind!
Enemy down!
Los!
Open fire! Engage the enemy!
Scheiße!
Enemy down!
Gegner wird der Soldat getroffen!
I see enemies! Take the objective. Enemy down!
Feindliche Soldaten gesehen! Schnell! Scheiße, ich bin getroffen! Feindliche Soldaten gesichtet!
Enemy down!
Fire! Engage the enemy!
Engage the enemy!
Waffen überprüfen! Sie sind überall! Schnell, schnell!
Enemy spotted. Let's move.
Feindliche Soldaten gesichtet! Ich sehe einen Feind! Da ist ein Feind! Ich sehe einen Feind!
Ich sehe einen Fan.
I see enemies. Fire in the hole.
Da ist getroffen!
Feindliche Soldaten gesichtet.
Move.
Germans! Let's move!
Open fire.
The enemy!
The enemies.
Enemy down!
Granate!
Enemy down! Enemy down!
Follow me.
Engage the enemy!
Sie sind überall!
Fire in the hole.
Enemy down!
Come on. Enemy spotted. Open fire. I see Germans. Cover me.
Enemy down!
Engage the enemy.
Engage the enemy!
Fire.
Enemy down!
Take the objective. Fire. Take the objective. Cover me.
Ich brauche Feuerschutz.